This is video 5 of 5 covering the quiz for chapter 16. The first one, equivalent units of production are equal to what? Remember that equivalent units of production are not an actual number of units. It's hypothetical what could have been, or an equivalency of the units that were produced, assuming that everything had been completed, started and completed in a given period. So you're looking for phrasing like could have been. Units that were completed from all the efforts being applied to them. These are not actual units that were completed. Number of units introduced to the process this period. That's kind of like total manufacturing costs. It's not an actual number of units. The number of finished units completed this period. That is cost of goods manufactured. Also not EUP. Number of units that could have been started and completed given the cost incurred. That is the equivalency we're speaking of. Number of units in process at period end. That is ending work in process, also not EUP. Recording the cost of raw materials purchased on credit for use in the process costing system includes what? So raw materials are purchased, I've got more of those. Increasing that asset account, I would need a debit to raw materials. I purchase them on credit, meaning that I owe more money. Increasing a liability, like accounts payable, I would credit accounts payable. So I expect to see a debit to raw materials and a credit to accounts payable. It's not going to work in process yet. I only go to overhead when I know that something was used as indirect or direct materials or labor, or if I was applying overhead in the case of crediting, and I'm not. Debit to raw materials, that increases raw materials, just as I said I should. Answer is E. So I'm looking for the ending balance of work in process cutting. I started the month with a beginning work in process balance of $20,000. During the month, the following costs were assigned to the cutting department. Direct materials, that would have increased, that is added to work in process. Direct labor. And overhead was applied at the rate of 40% of direct labor cost. So 0.4 times direct labor cost of $45,000 So applied overhead, which is the overhead that I add to work in process, is $18,000. Add those together. I've got $235K in total work in process in the cutting department through the period. I know that 218 was transferred out to the next department. It was finished and transferred out. So whatever is left, ending work in process, $17,000. A process's beginning work in process is 10,000, 20% complete with respect to conversion, 40,000 units completed in the period, 15,000 units in ending work in process that are 1/3 complete for conversion, EUP for conversion at period end, assuming weighted average. So I need completed and ending inventory. Completed was 40,000 units. If it's completed, it's 100%. Ending inventory was 15,000 that were 1/3 complete, or 33%. That comes out to be 5,000 EUP. So in total, there were 45,000 equivalent units of production with respect to conversion. Assume the same info as in the question above. Assume work in process, beginning work in process was 6,000, had 6,000 in conversion costs, 84,000 in conversion costs added during the period, cost per EUP for conversion. So my total cost, the 6,000 plus the 84,000 I added, is 90,000. 90,000 divided by 45,000 EUP for conversion, which I got from the previous problem, comes out to $2 per EUP, or C. Okay, that is the end of video 5 covering the Chapter 16 quiz. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know.